Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, we don't plan ahead, or if there is a plan, I'm not aware of it. Nobody talks to me.
In Hollywood, the new stars at the silver screen changed the face of the motion picture industry forever.
Gorgeous. Hi, I'm Beck for Pedestrian TV and I'm here with Pierre. How are you?
Hello, nice to meet you.
It's so lovely to meet you. So, Minions and Monsters is stacked with famous voices. How did you get these stars on board for this ride?
I think you should ask them. I was just happy that we had the idea of having, these great voices, but I would never think, well, it was just a dream come true, them saying yes. But I guess they must have been really happy to be maybe either in a Minion movie or working the subject matter also maybe could have been like really something that would attract like a lot of people. I really think you should ask them. But in the end, we were really happy because all the people we thought of as as a first pass, they all said yes, so we didn't need to look further. It was great.
Yeah, 100%. And was there anyone in particular that you was starstruck about having on for Minions and Monsters?
Oh man, that's hard to. It's hard to. I know that. I mean, Alice and Janie was the first one that I remember because I love her as an actress, and I saw like all the shows that I saw that were very smart and very. The West Wing, the Diplomat, like recently, the other movies she's been in. I think all that, and plus she's a wonderful person, and she did a voice actually in the first Minions for us. She was part of that family, which the Minions are hitchhiking at a certain point, and a car stops by, and it's her and her husband and her two kids in the back, and she was so good and so generous that I never thought, that I thought that if I do a next movie, I'll find a way to get her in there if possible.
Yeah, 100%. And do you usually plan on when you're creating, because the Minions and Despicable Me universe is so big, do you usually have a plan or a roster in your head about who you want to star in and which role they have already? Or like, do you just kind of fit them into the universe where you think they fit?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, we don't plan ahead, or if there is a plan, I'm not aware of it. Nobody talks to me.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now, Minions and Monsters kind of takes a whole different direction from the other movies. It's basically an homage to filmmaking and the history of like motion pictures. How did you come up with this idea and why did you decide to go down this route?
So, after doing three Despicable Me's and one Minion, I helped out on Minions 2, and I did the voices for DM4, Despicable Me 4. But I was really tired and did not want to go into that realm of into that place where I was going to do the voices on the script that I didn't control. So I said that very openly to Chris. I said like, well, maybe just ask somebody else if you've got like a Minion movie to do because I'm very happy to do the voice to help with a gag pass or whatever. And one weekend he just calls me and says like, okay, well I have this idea. You're gonna say no, but it would be a movie about a Minion making a movie, a monster movie, and maybe that monster just turns on them, and then the Minions have to correct their mess basically, and out of that little idea, I thought like, oh, but okay, but if I'm going to be pulled back into that world, is there a way to make it interesting for me? Like, is it? And I started having all these thoughts about like, okay, when would this film be happening? It'd be weird like if it was happening in the present. And so I went back in time and said like, oh, okay, maybe the best way. And I mean, I started having all these ideas about old Hollywood and stuff. So, man, wouldn't that be great? And then I thought like, wouldn't it be? I think just to get a better freshness also, maybe we just drop the three main characters that we've used for Minions 1 and 2, and maybe we just say that there are other tribes, in other places and in another time, and maybe we tell the story about those guys who land up in Hollywood in the 20s, and all that while he was pitching out that little sentence of a pitch. I thought, man, this is exciting. This is really something that I see myself doing because of the period. I could have like all these ideas, and there could be an extension of a musical thing happening where the music could help also the time period, and maybe and that's why I asked John Powell just to help me, because he's really great at doing very silly things very seriously. So there was, and we do that also very, all the silly stuff we do like super seriously. And that's the reason why sometimes after a while we don't really know if it's funny anymore, is that we do it so seriously that we forget, like, okay, is this still funny? I don't know anymore. Anyways, so that's where it came from, and that's where I sort of let it, just to make it interesting for me, because I knew I had to convince like those 300 people working on the movie that this was not going to be another Minion movie, or this one was going to be special. It was going to be told in a special way, animated in a special way, lit in a special way, and it was going to have a structure that is a little bit weird to it. Didn't know if it was going to work, but we'll see. Anyways,
I reckon
that's
it
where it.
did.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely did. As someone who is notorious for not taking things seriously,
Okay.
but absolutely appreciates filmmaking, and especially I loved how you used the different references to iconic films, like oh, I forgot that one. The one that says Rosebud. That was
Yes,
iconic.
Citizen Kane. Yeah.
There we go.
Well,
Citizen Kane.
but but it's that one was tricky though, because we thought of like, yeah, but we were making family movies, so is anyone going to get the reference? But in the end, the references are really not important. The references are there for the adults, but the script also functions on this very primal degree of, like, the minions are creating mayhem basically, and we have this second layer of like, okay, and for the adults in the room,
Yes,
here's
yeah.
here's those things you can think about, like, yeah, he's not saying rosebud, he's saying oh poop. But so that's funny because when well, it's kind of funny because when you think that he's saying that other thing, rosebud, in reference to his sled, then oh poop just goes, it's just irreverentious, it's sort of like totally out there. So we try getting those two levels of reading of a scene, but it's not obvious to write, and sometimes it backfires. But hopefully it again it works in the scope of this movie.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Well, thank you so much for your time. And I
No,
can't
you're
wait for
welcome.
everyone's reactions and what memes come out of Minions and Monsters.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. Bye bye.